Hello, this is a screencast for Hello Purr for App Inventor 2 as part of the IT curriculum for Possible Futures, Possible Selves. In this screencast, we're going to show you the first activity of App Inventor, which is an app that when you touch an image of a cat, it will meow. So before we do that, there's a couple things you need to know. One, you need a Google account in order to have this program running. And two, there's a couple of media items that you'll need to download. It's important to do that beforehand so that you don't have a bunch of students spending a lot of time finding these things. So in order to do that, there's a link in the curriculum. There's also, you can Google Hello Purr and this should come up. And on this tutorial screen, you can see the kitty picture, the meow sound. So you can go ahead and right click and you'll be greeted with the option to download. I've already downloaded these, so I don't need to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and go back to the main page of the App Inventor website. So this is the App Inventor homepage, and you'll want to click on the top right where it says Create Apps. Here it'll prompt you to log in with your Google account. Again, if you don't have one, you can go ahead and make one. They're free. You'll have to click through a few things before you're brought to this blank screen. And if you've already used App Inventor before, some projects will show up here. Sometimes a project will automatically load, but to get back to this screen, all you have to do is go Projects, My Project. So we'll want to start a new project, and the project name has to be one word. So here we'll just put Hello Purr, click OK, and then the project will go ahead and load. You'll see there's a lot going on in this screen. We have this palette over here, which has a lot of the buttons that you'll see on the screen. This is your viewer, so it's what you're seeing on the app. And then your components, which are the items that you drag. As you drag, things will come onto this components area. And then the properties. So ultimately you'll find yourself whenever you drag something to the viewer, it'll pop up in the components area, and then you'll have properties where you can then customize every feature in different ways based on whatever you're dragging over here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that button just so that we can stick to the original plan. Alright, Hello Purr will have a button component that displays the image of the kitty you downloaded earlier. To do this, we go to the User Interface palette and drag and drop the button component. So we'll go ahead and bring that button back. See it pops up in the components. And to make this button an image of a cat, you can go to these properties, go to image, and just like you would upload a photo somewhere, you just find your image, click open, click OK, and there's our cat. Now we're going to change the button's text property. We're going to delete the text for button 1. So you see the text under properties. Go ahead and delete that. And you'll see the text has been removed. But we do want to add a label. So we can go to label, drag a label, and then edit that label to say pretty much whatever you want. Here we can say, pet the kitty. But again, you can really, hopefully students will come to understand you can customize the button, you can customize the image, you can customize the label. You can also customize text colors, font sizes. Feel free to explore once you get the actual programming down. So now under palette, We're going to add a non-visible component. We're going to click Media, and as you notice, you can click a bunch of things and different features will pop up. For this, we're going to be adding a sound. And draw that in there. You can see that it pops up on the bottom under a non-visible component because you can't see sound. And here it's going to ask you for your source. So we are going to go find that meow noise that we downloaded. Open that. And now we have that added to our project. So now we have our app screen set up, but we haven't quite told it to do anything. That's where this blocks tab comes in. The designer is what you're seeing, but the blocks are really what you're telling it to do. On the left side of the blocks editor, we'll click the button 1 drawer to open it. And you see how all these different commands now show up for each block. Here, for this, we're going to keep it simple and have when the button clicks, do something. These mustard blocks are called event handler blocks. The event handler block specifies how the phone should respond in certain events. So it will say when this is clicked, do blank, if this is being touched, if this is turned on, things like that. In this instance, we want when the button is clicked to play a sound. So we're going to click sound. And we're going to go ahead and add and you hear that click sound. The purple blocks are called command blocks, which are placed in the body of event handlers. You heard it before that they click, and they'll continue to make that sound so long as it's a command that makes sense. If the program does not make sense, you won't be able to click the blocks together. So if I'm trying to do this, you'll see that it's not, that means that the program is telling you that that's not how it works. So you can see here we've programmed this to say when the button is clicked, play this sound. So now we have our program written and we have our screen. And so this is good to go for testing. When you click the button, you should hear the kitty meow. Unfortunately, the emulator on the App Inventor itself is a little problematic. So what you'll need to do is use your phone and connect it to Wi-Fi. If you want some assistance in using the emulator, I encourage you to look at the App Inventor website or stay tuned for future resources where we help you get your apps to test. Hopefully you're all set with your first app on App Inventor. Stay tuned for additional screencasts.